Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to How to Sell Deluxe Resorts or Secrets to Selling Deluxe Resorts. My name is Dana Zifisak, and I am a travel agent educator. I teach other agents the things I do to build my business. I'm so happy you're here. All right, so let's get started. I want to know, when you travel, do you book rooms with a view? Tell me in the comments, do you book rooms with a view? Do you book rooms with a view? Trying to get this mouse up. Here we go. Do you book rooms with a view? Tell me in the comments. So I am curious. Okay. Jennifer says, absolutely. Okay, and then I'm going to go in here. So for me, it depends. Okay. If it's a place where I really want a view, I will pay for the view. Okay. So for example, if I am in the Caribbean, I want to have a room with a view. If I am at the Toronto Blue Jays game, I want to have the room that has the Toronto Blue Jays stadium has a hotel attached to it, which is amazing, right? And so what I want to do, well, what we are going to do, because we're going in over Labor Day weekend, is we booked a room with a view of you can actually watch the baseball game from your hotel room. When I found out that was a thing, I was booking that as soon as we knew we were going, I was booking that. Okay. But like if I'm at Animal Kingdom Lodge, I want a Savannah view. I often tell people, I'm like, you do not want to be at Animal Kingdom Lodge and not have a view of the Savannah. Like, it's just such a part. Yes. And Tammy says at Disney, I might just do standard and hope for the best because we aren't in the room much anyway. Yes. And that's also a big factor too. So I ask this because a lot of times people will say, oh, I just need the least expensive view. But then when they have a view of the parking lot and the dumpster, they're like, oh, well, I didn't mean this. So we got to tell them that when you click on, and we have to also tell clients what the definitions mean. Like resort view means it could be the parking lot. Resort view could mean a garden. It could mean a courtyard. It could mean a parking lot. Did I say that one already? It could mean you see where the laundry comes in and out. Okay. I'm just naming off the views I've had when I've stayed resort view. So we want to make sure that we are, and that's part of selling deluxe, because deluxe hotel guests tend to have more options for views. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're giving them those options. Okay. All right, so let's get into selling, if I can get this going. Perfect. So when we are selling up, the secret to selling, there's 3 secrets we're going to go over today. The first one is price. I'm going to tell you, there are crazy hotel rooms, and there are crazy cruise ship rooms, and there are expensive concierge or club rooms that go sold out. People buy these things. Okay. If it's not in your budget, it might be in someone else's budget. Okay. You cannot let budget or price intimidate you, because there are people who there is an audience for this level of product. It might not be a huge audience. Okay. So that's where these other tips are going to help you with how to, you know, how to explain the deluxe experience. Okay. But number one, you have to realize that you're not shopping with your pocketbook. All right. We can't be intimidated by the price and think, oh my gosh, they'll never pay that. Okay. You don't know what something is worth to people. Like, for example, I didn't care how much that room was that had the view into the baseball stadium. I was going to pay it because we're only going to this once. Okay. Or, knock on wood, who knows? But, because my 13-year-old, we are doing all the baseball stadiums. So we still have 3 more left this year, which is Chicago Cubs, Cincinnati, and then Toronto. And I was like, part of this is the experience. So I am going to pay more if there's a hotel right next to the stadium, because guess what? When you leave that stadium and all you have to do is walk across the street, it is worth it. Okay? Now, if I'm going to a place where the stadium is nowhere near any hotels, like for example, we went to Miami. There are no hotels near the Miami Stadium. We stayed at the least expensive airport hotel because then the next day we were going to the airport. Okay. But like, I wasn't going to stay on an expensive place in the South Beach because it wasn't going to matter then. But if it matters to my experience, I'm going to pay more. And that's how our clients are too. So you have to get them into the experience that they're going to have when you're qualifying them, when you're talking with them about it. Okay. And in order to speak to the experience they're going to have, you need to be able to experience it for yourself. Now, you might be saying, I can't afford to stay club level at Animal Kingdom Lodge. I'm not asking you to. If you can swing it, absolutely. Even just for one night, just to have the experience. All right. It will help your sales. I will tell you. And especially with destinations like the Sandals and Beaches Resorts or Disney Cruise, these things that are higher price tags, you sell them so much easier when you've been there. Okay. It is because you can speak to it. You can speak to the value of it having experienced it. Okay. And that is part of our job. Now, again, it might not be in your budget right now, especially if you're getting started. You might not have that kind of budget. So what I say to that is you still need to try to get to these places. All right. If you're going to be serious about selling cruises, you want to get on a cruise ship. All right. And book the category you can afford. But check out all the different, and actually, to tell you the truth, I take that back. Get on the cruise ships, get the cruise experience. However, also when Royal Caribbean or Norwegian, a lot of times if they're in port or they'll have FAMs, then on the FAMs, you see all the different room categories. You have to keep in touch with your salespeople and your sales managers for the different brands. So that way you're on their email list. And then when there's a seminar at sea or a lunch and learn on board, like if you're on a coast where cruise ships come in, a lot of times they'll also do, a lunch where you get a tour of the ship and then you eat lunch and then you go. Like they do that out in New Jersey. They do that out in New York. I'm sure down in Florida, they do that. And in Texas, they will do that, but you have to be on the sales manager's list or your BDM's list so that you can tour that. And they will show you as many room categories as they can and the higher tiered ones as well. So they'll definitely always show you a suite. Okay. But you want to get in with those industry professionals because that is how you get this experience of knowing what is available. Yes, you have to experience it for yourself, but you also have ways to get in on the experience if you can't afford to do it yourself. Okay. When there's no audio, can you hear me? Judy, is Judy the only one who can't hear me or can All right. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right. Is it working now? It's working now. Okay. Something disconnected. The stupid the Apple AI. Ever since my thing updated to the Apple AI, it's like connecting things and it's like trying to help me. Like it tried to connect my phone to the computer and then that kicked off my microphone. AI is great, but sometimes it's not. It's like I want to control what I am. Like this is plugged in. My microphone is plugged in to the thing. So this is what I want to use. Because when I'm not using it, I unplug it. But of course, I can't reason with a machine. Anyway, so let's go back to what we were talking about here on the slide because I want to make sure, because if some of you lost me for a little bit. So experiencing it for ourselves. It can be getting on a FAM with your BDMs. It can be, if you get an opportunity to go and use an agent rate somewhere, okay? Go with a couple other agents and split the cost. All right. Don't go with your family. Go with a couple other agents. Say, we're going to do this. And I've known agents to do that. Like when Helios opened up, I know some agents went together and went in on a room because those rooms are expensive. But people want to stay there. And so getting there and getting that experience. Now, and here's another idea. You don't have to stay in the most expensive categories. Now, if you're at a Sandals or Beaches resort and you're there on a travel agent rate or Points to Paradise, or, well, if you're there for a fam, you're going to get tons of room tours. But when you're there for one of those things, you have to do a sales meeting. And what they do is they take you through all the expensive categories. So don't you worry, you see them. And you want to be able to take video and use those moments and use those travel agent rates for that. Because if that's what you want to sell, then you need to find yourself and get yourself there. Okay. Where there's a will, there's a way, is what I say. Another thing, like, so say you sell Disney, there is, you might be staying. So I'm going to give you an example from my own trip. My son and I and my husband joined us later in the week. We went down to Disney because remember they had those awesome Disney Plus rates. Port Orleans Riverside, for $160 or something like that. Crazy. I was like, oh, let's go. And then it wound up being when Starlight was coming out and all that kind of stuff. So it worked out. And I'll book a preferred room, but I just booked whatever was on sale. Cause I was like, this is kind of an extra little thing. So I'm just going to, take the discount. But, it was also, the heat of summer and, we didn't really want to do anything till later in the day. So one day we were, my son wanted to do 1900 Park Fare for breakfast because he loves that food. And if you see the pictures of, oh my gosh, the allergy chefs just go above and beyond there. So, and then I said, okay, why don't we then just ride the monorail? Like we took the monorail, we took the bus to the Magic Kingdom, got on the monorail, went to 1900 Park Fare, and then got off. Then after that, went on the monorail again, got off the Polynesian. He sat in the air-conditioned lobby. I went and walked over to the new tower and just walked around and took some pictures and just got some, I tried to get some angles at the pool that where there weren't people in them, just to kind of get an idea of this new tower because I hadn't seen it yet. And again, I'm not staying at the Polynesian, but I just walked over and you can then take the transportation from there wherever you're going. Okay, we happened to be going to Epcot, so we were just going to get on the monorail again. We weren't walking to the TTC. It was too far. It was really hot that day. And so, let's say you were going to Hollywood Studios after that, in that situation. You can then take the bus from there and you get the experience of what it's like staying at the Polynesian and getting on the bus. It's a different experience than taking the bus from Port Orleans Riverside. It's a different experience than taking the bus from Pop Century. All right. Experiencing that and be able to speak to that says a lot. Like, for example, a Pop Century, I always say, like at the value resorts, you're lining up in a queue for the bus. At the moderate resorts, you have a little bench area. And then at the deluxe resorts, it's even, it's a nicer, sometimes you even have a fan. Okay. As you go up in category, you get more amenities like that. And just explaining it that way, that's your experience there. Some people don't, there's a lot of differences between the pricing of a deluxe and the pricing of a moderate. Um, and you want to make sure that you're doing that. And that comes in your qualifying, but you have to have the experience in order to speak to it. Okay. Yes, you can listen to podcasts. Yes, you can watch YouTube videos, but something about being there and experiencing it speaks volumes. Okay. So there's that. Now, finally, you want to experience it, but then you need to tell people about it, right? Yes. So we have to showcase this. Okay. We didn't talk much about club level yet, but a club level stay, again, it's a pricier option. It is, you are paying more. You're not going to make your money back. Okay. Maybe I will say maybe at Universal. Okay. But you're paying for the convenience of having everything right there in your lobby or having access to the club lounge. Okay. I equate it to you just like having, especially if you have kids, just being able to go in, grab the juice boxes, grab a couple of snacks. It's just nice. Now at Universal, at their premier properties or whatever they call them now. I'm so sorry. I can't keep up with the lingo. But at the top three, Hard Rock, Royal Pacific, and Portofino. Those club levels, it is not that much to upgrade to a club level room there. And if you have a family of 5, it is definitely something I always quote for families. Okay. They might not take it, but I quote it for them and I tell them about it because, hey, this can actually save you money because you know how expensive breakfasts are at those Lowe's hotels. And, just with that, so showcase that, put that, and these kinds of posts do great on social media. You don't even have to do a fancy reel. People like to see what it looks like. Okay. They like to see, oh, this is really neat. Maybe I'll save for that. Or, talk. And so that's why I say if you can stay one night at club level, just so that you can get the experience, then you can share it. Okay. There is something about doing something firsthand that makes you more credible out here in this industry. Okay. Because there's a lot of agents out there. And I want you to be one that is credible and that people can trust because you've gone out and experienced what you're selling. Okay. Like I don't sell river cruises because I've never been on a river cruise. I would love to go on a river cruise, but right now I am sponsoring, not sponsoring. My son plays travel baseball. That's where all our money goes. So, and baseball stadiums, like staying in but there will come a time in my life where I will want to go more to Europe. And, we do want to go to Europe. Actually, he wants to go to Europe, but he also wants to go to the ballparks. And so right now, it's easier for us. I mean, I think when we do Europe, we'll probably do like first a Mediterranean cruise. I think that's how we'll start it. And I've been to Europe. I used to be a Spanish teacher. I used to take my students to Europe. So that's why I definitely want to do that with him soon because we're getting to, I would take sophomores. So I found that was a good age. Anywho, so I have gone. But guess what? Last time I went to Europe was 2010. That is now 15 years. Okay. I can't book it. I don't book it. I refer out when someone asks, unless it's a Mediterranean cruise or something like that I know better. I know the lay of the land more, but I have to refer that out because I don't know it. Okay. And that's just me. Some people will book things they don't know and it's fine and they can do the research, but I don't have time to do all the research that I need to know for them. Unless it's something, and I hope, gosh, they decided to come and mow the lawn, which to tell you the truth, my dog must really be asleep. You can kind of see him behind me. Because normally he's barking at them, but he is like passed out, which is good because we don't need him barking. But I don't know if you can hear the lawnmowers going. Anywho, you want to showcase this. And a lot of times we don't think of it, but make sure that you are, again, I think I got this picture from a fam. I haven't stayed at Portofino club level, but when I was on a fam, I took the pictures. I have them. Okay. So take advantage of your opportunities and trust me, the suppliers they want to showcase the upper level things because they want us to get those bookings. People are going to book it. These club rooms sell out, okay? Because people want the convenience, okay? People will pay for convenience, and people will pay for having things that just make their trip easier. Okay. And that's where we have to, that's one of the biggest mindset shifts, because a lot of us come from, oh, we got to save the most money. We got to, but it's not, not everybody thinks that way. My dad does for sure. Like he would be there, like adding up all the, he would be, if he ever stayed club level. But guess what? They love the yacht club. They don't ever, well, okay, I will say my dad probably complains, but my mom loves the yacht club. So they stay there all the time when they go to Disney because that's what they like. They like the convenience. Are they paying, like, could they pay less if they stayed at Caribbean Beach? Yes, but they don't want to do that. They want to stay at the yacht club. So that's where they stay. And again, it does say something if you have the budget, if you have the ability, but we can't assume people's budget. Okay. We have to make sure that we are selling why people like these experiences. Okay. And we do that in our marketing too, showcasing the possibility. All right. So now I want to tell you my Stop Missing Out on Sales challenge. We're doing it again this August. Last year we did it in September, but this year we're going to do it in August. And what this is, so if you want to be able to craft posts that speak to this is something that we're going to be working on in my challenge. Okay. So what we're doing, let me show you. So it's 3 live marketing and sales trainings, August 20th to the 26th. All right. Training 1, we're going to be talking about your ideal audience and how to customize hooks for your ideal audience. A hook in social media is the first couple words of a post, the caption or the words that you have on a reel. So we're going to talk about these hooks and how to pick ones for your ideal audience. Because all of marketing, you guys, comes down to your ideal. Oh gosh, now my dog is now gone under the desk. So if you lose me again, he just sat on some what's it called? Wires. Let's just hope he didn't sit on anything in it. He's scared of everything. Anyway, all of marketing comes down to who your ideal audience is, okay? And matching what you put out there with what they're feeling, what questions they have, what objections they have. And so that's going to be training 1. That's going to be on August 20th at noon. And again, these will all be recorded and you'll have access to the recordings. How to use the app Edits to create reels with photos and videos. Okay. Edits is great. Okay. But it can be overwhelming to try something new. So I'm going to show you how I use Edits. And I'm also going to show you how I make carousel posts, not with Edits. That's just separate, but training 2 is going to be a how-to hands-on. Okay. And then training 3, which will be on Monday, August 25th. So training 2 will be on the 21st, and all the trainings are at noon Eastern. Training 3 signs you're losing leads and how to fix them. We're going to talk about what to do when you get a new lead. Okay. And how to not lose them. So we're going to talk marketing. And then when your marketing works, you get a lead, and then you want to make sure that you can convert them. All right. So what you're going to walk away with after these 5 days is 5 post starters, 5 hooks customized for your ideal audience. I'm going to have you create 5 social media posts, 3 carousel or photo posts, and then 2 reels made with edits. I'm not doing this for you. You're going to have to do it. I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay. This is not made for you. You have to, because guess what? You can, and the reason why I teach it this way is because you can take all the classes in the world. You can do all that. But if you don't implement, if you don't do it, it goes nowhere. So that's why I do this in a challenge format, because we also have a Facebook group and I have accountability. We have deliverable posts where when you make your things, you're going to post them and you're going to get credit. And then I give prizes to people who, complete it all. Okay. It's a fun thing. But the reason why I do it this way is because I know you only learn if you do. All right. And I don't keep these. I don't just sell these trainings because that's not how I teach. I teach so that you learn how to do it. Okay. And with that, you need me with you live. Okay. And that's what we do here. And then the last one is, a step-by-step plan for when you receive a new lead, what to do. Okay. So you must be like, oh my God. Oh, yes. And then you'll have until September 5th to watch your replays. Okay. So you're not going to, and also the Facebook group. So everything's open until September 5th. So August 20th to September 5th, you have access. So if you can't, like say you have a fam or you have a vacation or you're just busy and you miss something, it's okay. You'll have the extension on the replays. All right. I know us, and I know if I give you a forever extension, that means you will forever not do it. So that's why there is a hard date, because I want to see you implement. And the way that social media and marketing goes, I did this challenge last year. My marketing section, I had to completely revamp for this year because it's all changed. So you need to take advantage of things as they're happening. Okay. And then, so finally, $29 for the 3 trainings. You get the replays, and then you also get workbooks. All right. So $29, you get these trainings with me live. And again, the replays are available until September 5th. And the website is marketingmadeeasy for travelagents.com/sales25. All right. I make this affordable because I want you to implement these things. I don't want there to be a barrier, but you also have to, there is also a cost in me running this. So, it is a business, but it's affordable. And if you can swing it, I would do it, and carve out some time. These trainings aren't going to be an hour long each. Okay. The first training is going to be a half hour. Second and third ones will be 45 minutes to an hour, I should say. But listen, it's a good value, and come and learn with me. Judy, sales led members get automatic. Oh yeah, you weren't on our call early. You weren't there yet when I announced it. Yes, you get automatic entry. Yeah, my sales led members don't have to pay. My sales led members get to participate, and my member agencies do. I see Olivia here, but their agents are also allowed to just come because they are members with me. So if you are a member with me, you get free admission. But if you're not a member with me, $29. Okay. So here's why I do what I do. So I've been doing this for 12 years. I used to be a classroom teacher. I am not going back. Okay. I taught middle school Spanish. I taught high school and middle school Spanish, I'd say. I didn't take the middle schoolers to anywhere. No. The middle schoolers went nowhere. I only traveled with I only took high schoolers on the Spain trips. Ooh, no, not middle school. But I teach you the steps to posts that convert into leads and what to do when you get a new lead so you don't lose them. It's based on my own business. This is based on my own posts, for my own trips, for my own pictures. I am not someone who just comes in and teaches stuff and then walks away. I actually am doing this too. Okay. And trying to figure it all out with you. All right. I am not an expert. I am just somebody who has been trying it. And when things work, it's great. So I'm sharing with you what has worked for me. All right. So I hope you join me in the challenge. It should be fun. And I will see you all again. I'll be back with more lives next week. Okay. So have a great weekend, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.